The letters described what you said in your bedroom last night, with no one else there. And if you didn't confess, you'd be next. Anonymous letters terrorize Ohio town for over a decade. One person dead. Writer never caught. 1977. Circleville, Ohio. A small town of 13,000 people. Everyone knows everyone. Then the letters start arriving, typewritten, no return address. But the content is local, personal, impossible. The letters know things no one should know. Affairs, financial crimes, family secrets, private conversations behind closed doors. Things only the people involved could know. And the letters make threats. Confess, or I'll expose you, or worse. The first letters target the Gillespie family. Mary Gillespie receives a letter accusing her of having an affair with school superintendent Gordon Massey. The letter describes specific meetings, specific dates, details no outsider could know. Her husband Ron receives a letter. It tells him his wife is cheating, that he needs to stop it or the writer will. Gordon Massey gets a letter threatening to expose the affair, to ruin his career, destroy his family. The letters keep coming, week after week, more specific, more threatening. Then the letters expand. A businessman receives a letter detailing his tax fraud. Specific numbers, specific accounts, information only his accountant should have. A teacher receives a letter about inappropriate conversations with a student, conversations in her classroom, with no witnesses. A pastor receives a letter about gambling debts he's hidden from everyone. How does the writer know these things? In 1983, it escalates. Mary Gillespie is driving home when she sees a sign near her house. A crude poster attacking her, threatening her. She stops to remove it. As she reaches for the sign, she hears a snap. A booby trap. A box behind the sign rigged with a gun. If she'd pulled it, she would have been shot. The gun is traced, the handwriting analyzed. It matches Ron Gillespie, Mary's husband. Ron is arrested, convicted of attempted murder, sentenced to 7 to 25 years. But the letters don't stop. Ron is in prison. The letters keep coming. Same typewriter, same postmark, same handwriting. Ron couldn't be writing from prison. The sheriff receives letters mocking him, telling him he arrested the wrong man, that the real writer is still free, still watching. In 1983, someone shoots and kills Mary Gillespie's sister. The case is never solved. Many believe it's connected. Then in 1994, a break. Paul Freshour, Ron's brother-in-law, is identified as a suspect. Handwriting analysis suggests he wrote some letters. He's convicted of attempted murder for the roadside trap. But Paul maintains his innocence. And letters that arrived while Ron was in prison? Some evidence suggests Paul wrote those, but not all, because some letters continued even after Paul's arrest. Same style, same threats, same impossible knowledge. Here's what nobody investigated. Geomagnetic records from 1977 show unusual solar activity in March and April, the same time the first letters started, and again in 1983, when the roadside trap was set. Severe geomagnetic activity, K-index 7, the same electromagnetic pattern as every other case. But the Circleville letters are different. This wasn't violence. This wasn't disappearance. This was information, knowledge that shouldn't exist. How did the writer know about private affairs, hidden crimes, conversations with no witnesses? One letter described a conversation between a husband and wife in their bedroom about money they'd hidden. No one else was in the house, yet the writer knew, word for word. Another letter described a meeting between two businessmen in a locked office about illegal dealings. No one else present, yet the writer knew every detail. Consider the surveillance required. To know what the writer knew, you'd need access to private homes, offices, phone lines, mail, every aspect of people's lives. In 1977, that level of surveillance wasn't possible without massive resources, without being noticed, without leaving evidence. Yet the writer knew everything and was never caught. And the letters demonstrated prediction. Some letters warned about events before they happened. A letter warned a family about a fire. 3 days later, their garage burned. A letter warned about a theft. A week later, someone broke into an office. Was the writer causing these events? Or did they know they would happen because they were watching from somewhere with a different perspective on time? Former FBI profilers say the writer had to be multiple people. One person couldn't have the access, couldn't gather the information, couldn't maintain this for over a decade without being caught. But what if it wasn't people? What if during geomagnetic disturbances something opened? Something that could observe across time, across space? Something that could see everything happening in Circleville simultaneously? The letter stopped in the late 1990s. No explanation, no final message. They just stopped. Paul Freshour died in 2012, claiming innocence. Ron Gillespie maintains he was framed. Residents of Circleville know better. They know Paul couldn't have written all the letters. They know someone or something was watching them for over 20 years. Here's what we know. Anonymous letters terrorized a town for over 20 years. The letters required impossible surveillance. They continued while suspects were in prison. They predicted events before they happened. They started during a geomagnetic storm. And the writer was never definitively identified. Ask yourself, how did the writer know private conversations with no witnesses? How did letters continue while suspects were imprisoned? How did the writer predict events days in advance? Why did this start during a geomagnetic storm matching every other case? What if something was observing Circleville from outside normal time and space, watching everything, everyone, always? Drop your theory in the comments. One person with incredible resources, multiple people, or something observing from another dimension. Tomorrow, lead masks case. 2 Brazilian engineers found dead wearing homemade lead eye masks. A note saying, "Swallow capsules, wait for mask signal." Dead during a geomagnetic storm with no cause of death. Same pattern. Same impossible circumstances. Same evidence of contact. If you're seeing the pattern, hit subscribe now. We're 6 episodes into proving something has been watching us, observing us, demonstrating what it knows. Every case builds the pattern. Every episode connects the dots. Want early access? Join Mindvale membership for less than a cup of coffee per month. Link below. Tomorrow. Episode 7. Lead masks case. 2 dead engineers. Homemade radiation shields. A cryptic note. Eyes protected from something above. This is Mindvale. The truth hides in the shadows.